What up, y'all? So today I'm here for what in the world? So today I'm here to have an impromptu conversation about the seven-figure social work movement and seven-figure social work strategies. And the thing that prompted this video was someone who asked me, if you are in business and you're making money, why do you live in that old ass house? Well, because I'm doing seven-figure social work strategies, right? I am not a seven-figure social worker yet. But to become a seven-figure social worker, you have to have strategy because it's not by chance. It's not a lottery. Someone's not going to bestow it upon you. It's not anything you're going to get through your job. And it's not even anything you're going to get through owning a clinical private practice or a digital online business. Even though a digital online business can give you time, financial, and career freedom, it's still not going to be something where you can become a seven-figure. Well, let me take that back. There are people who release digital products and they make 7-8 figures a year. Typically, that is not the norm, right? There are always outliers in every situation. Now, if you can make a few $100,000 a year doing that, fantastic. That will change your effing life, right? But to become a seven-figure social worker, you have to have strategy. And one of the main strategies is stop spending all your damn money. Especially if you're doing it to look important on social media. That's just stupid. You know, whoever's for you is for you. And it shouldn't matter what's going on in the background. And this is the thing, which is something I see a lot of now. People will be like, oh, I know you don't have any money because you're wearing such and such. What someone's wearing, what someone's driving, where they're living is not an indication of financial health. Just know that. Usually the person driving the newest, baddest car, carrying the flyest bag, wearing the flyest clothes, having the nicest apartment or house, you know what I see? When I see those people, I see debt. I see debt. Unless they've made it to that point and they just have all this disposable income to do that with. But I've hung around a lot of rich people, 7 and 8 figure earners. And let me tell you, to look at them, you would never know that any of them earn 7 or 8 figures. They look regular. They might have on a watch. Like if you know your watch game, you know these watches, you might realize, okay, they got to have some coin to have that watch. But for the most part, like there was this man I know, he carrying an iPhone 8. He's worth millions. He don't need a 14. Like he said, my 8 still work. So with that being said, let's get into some seven-figure social work strategies that I am implementing in my life to make it to that goal. So one of the first seven-figure social work strategies that I'm implementing in my life includes developing boring businesses, right? So this is an investment. And the resource that I'm going to share for you is a YouTube channel run by a lady named Cody Sanchez, right? So resource, check it out in the description box. Go watch her videos. I am still learning this process. I just joined her community, Contrarian Thinking, and she talks a lot about boring businesses. So she has 26 different businesses. She used to be an investment banker. She left her job making 6 figures a year in investment banking to go out and do her own thing in business. She has digital products. Let's just be clear. She has digital products. But she also owns a host of boring businesses. So what are boring businesses? These are going to be laundromats, right? Laundromats are a business that if you buy them properly, they can cash flow immediately. Go check it out. There's also landscaping businesses, plumbing businesses. These are a lot of businesses that you don't see a lot of people getting into today, right? Most people graduating school don't want to go on to be plumbers and carpenters and landscapers and window washers, right? They don't want to do these things. And these are professions that you are starting to see dying off, but The thing about it is, these are recession-proof businesses. Like, think about it. I don't care what type of financial market we're in, people are going to wash their flipping clothes, right? It's just a solid business idea. Now, laundromats may not be the greatest purchase right now, but they are an option, right? And so I'm following Codie Sanchez, and I suggest if you have any ideations that you want to be part of the 7-figure social worker movement and you want to be a 7-figure social worker, go check these resources out. But Codie Sanchez, again, I'll link to her channel in the description box below. Definitely something you should check out and find out more information about boring businesses. You don't have to be there to run them. You can set them up in a way. You don't even have to buy them in the same state that you live in. And there are websites that highlight people who are selling their businesses, right? Because you have people who start their businesses when they're young, they get to retirement age and they're ready to retire, right? And so there's so many ways to buy these businesses. Now, another great thing about boring businesses is you can really strategize and purchase businesses that help out your primary business, right? So I was watching one of her webinars and this guy was talking about purchasing, there was a graphic design business for sale. Well, he's a YouTuber. He's a social media person. Graphic design goes hand in hand with that business, right? Totally smart purchase, right? So that is one of the first strategies that I am looking at in this whole 7-figure social worker movement, getting to that point and those strategies that I am implementing to do that. And again, none of these strategies includes getting a Gucci bag, getting red bottoms, or getting a brand spanking new house, a single family house that I pay for out of my active income to show and prove for y'all here on YouTube, so y'all can say, oh, her house is beautiful, she must really be making money. Stop with the whole smoke and mirrors thing. A lot of these YouTubers out here got you with smoke and mirrors. No, I'm not doing that. You're gonna see me live in my regular house that I've been living in until I get to the goal that I've set for myself. And again, if you want to start a YouTube, start where you are. Don't be out here trying to perp for these people, perpetrate a fraud to make them believe you that you really got the skills. I got the skills to show you how to start, grow, and scale a digital online business. If you don't believe me, then go find somebody else to do it. There's that part. The second strategy in my whole 7-figure social worker movement, the second strategy that will get me to being a 7-figure social worker that I'm trying to implement is real estate. Now, real estate is not hot right now. We are all over the place as far as the market. So and I've been researching the market, but if you look at the market down south, there's a housing crash going on, right? A housing crash reminiscent of what we saw in 2008 in the housing market crash, right? Now, the thing is, you've got some people saying there's not going to be a housing crash because there's no subprime loans. Subprime loans is what led to the housing crash in 2008. And while there might not be a lot of subprime loans right now, subprime loans aren't the only thing that's going to lead to this crash, right? There are a surplus of houses in the South going on sale. However, we had a record low application rate for mortgages last month or month before last. It was only like 100 and some odd applications nationwide, right? So it was this really super low, record low, lower than anything that's happened historically. And, you know, we're starting to see this trend that happened historically. It happened in 2008. It happened before then, right? And so what I know from when I purchased my last home way back in 2001, when I built my house, my first home, what I know when a market is like this, it is soon going to become a seller's market. Now, also what you're going to see happening is you have a lot of people, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, they couldn't afford to pay their mortgage. Now, some of them got mortgage relief, but even for some of those who got mortgage relief, they couldn't pull themselves out of the red, right? And so in each state it differs. Like when I was in North Carolina, I think the foreclosure process took maybe 6 months to a year. Here in New York State, it's an entire 2-year process from the time that they have their 90-day delinquency and mortgage payment to full foreclosure taking place. That's about a 2-year process, right? When you start to see the housing market where it is now, it typically takes about a year or two for you to see it plummet out, for those housing prices to really get low and it become a buyer's market again, right? Because it's been a seller's market for like damn near the past 12 to 15 years. And most housing markets kind of sustain for that period, that 12 to 15 year period. And so right now we are in a really good space that in a couple years you could see property values in different places, right? Because in the north it's different than it is in the south right now. The north, where I am, is not budging. It's not budging. But you don't have to buy investment property where you live. You buy investment property where the best investment is taking place. So there's a couple people that I am learning from to do this. Julian Gordon, who has the multifamily property movement or something like that, the multifamily income movement, something like that. I'll link to him also in the description box below. But he will teach you how to buy multifamily units. And the strategy here is you don't go buy a single family home and live in it with your active income. You buy these low cost properties, these multifamily units. You put your stinking tail in one of the units for like a year. You stack your money. You let your tenants pay your current mortgage. You stack your money. And then you take these incomes from these multifamily properties that you own. And that's after you've built some of those up. Then you go get your single family home that you don't use your active income to pay for, because the income coming in from your rental property is going to pay the taxes and everything on those rental properties, and it's also going to cover the mortgage on your single family home. Listen, it's all about strategy, y'all. Some of y'all be out here doing too much too fast to impress people that you don't even like. Just stop the madness, y'all, and get on these 7-figure social work movement strategies. Again, resources in the description box below. Now, these are just a couple of strategies I'm learning or, going to utilize to get to my 7-figure social worker status. And again, I'm not trying to get to 7-figure social worker status so I can go out here and dumb out and just buy stupid stuff. I really want to be able to become a philanthropist, to really have money to put into the communities and populations that I want to help. That's really what it's about for me. It really is about uplifting the profession of social work and being able to have money and invest in the organizations that are near and dear to my heart. And unfortunately, that can't be all organizations, right? So if you want to be part of the 7-figure social worker movement because you want to be able to fund the lives of vulnerable populations that are near and dear to you, that are important to you, that's what this is about. But I'm not going to lie, it's also about taking a vacation. It's also about self-care. It's also about having enough financial and economic stability to sustain your life, because we as a nation are headed in a direction where AI is going to start taking over people's jobs. They are talking about the UBI again, the Universal Basic Income, and this is huge, right? And a lot of times social workers will say, well, I can't be replaced. There are a bunch of people whose jobs have been replaced that said the exact same thing. So prepare and strategize. Prepare and strategize. And how do you prepare? Stop spending all your damn money on stupid stuff and strategize about, now that you're spending less money, how can you bring more money in, and how can you bring it in a way where you are not trading your time to get that money. And even if you are trading your time to get that money, you're trading it at scale. So I talk about these concepts more in the Swell community. We will be talking about this more definitely in the Swell community. So if you are interested in this, go check out the Swell community. I will link to it in the description box below. That is my Patreon community, and we are over there trying to do big things. So that's all I have for you right now. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and click the like button, subscribe so you don't miss what I put out, and hit the bell icon so you are notified every time I upload a new video. And until next time, this is your girl Michelle saying, stop waiting. The time is now. Start your digital online business. Bye for now.